Welcome to the Big Reed and Ace Pick Six College Football Week 5. Let's go, Ace.
All right, boys, college football week 5. Cannot believe it. Season's going quickly, but it was an exciting week last week. Cannot wait to get into the games this week. But before we start, want to talk a little bit about the comments that we're getting from all you guys in regards to 2 weeks ago when we had a horrible week and a pretty bad week, and comments are popping up left and right. These guys, Big Ace and Reed, not even addressing this crap. I mean, left and right, people are saying comments, horrible week, can't believe you guys did that bad, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, what do you guys, I get it. You guys these guys are not even addressing it. What do you want me to tell you guys? We're getting paid by the bookies. The bookies are paying us every week to give the opposite picks here. When you guys click on the video, we're tracking your bookie's website and we get paid. So you guys, every time you make that bet, we're getting a piece of that. That's why we're giving you guys the opposite picks. I mean, what the hell do you want me to say? What do you want Big Reed to say after a horrible week, guys? God damn it. I mean, good Lord, that was a pretty bad Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday where I couldn't even literally eat my French fry. Like, I'm here, eating these crisp cut French fries, about to dip it into the ranch sauce. Before I can even dip it and put it in my mouth and enjoy that French fries, I'm getting a freaking alert on my phone that says, Mike S is saying these guys can't even address it. God damn it. I mean, I told you guys we pay attention to the comments, and you guys are on our ass about not addressing it. It's kind of like if you go to a party. You're going to a party all pumped. It's a barbecue. It's going to be some kind of lunch party. You're all excited. Like, I'm going to get a good meal in. On the table, you see a bunch of, 2 or 3 different chips. You got some fruit cut. You got some hummus dip, some artichoke dip. You got these tiny little tacos, like this big, with some meat on it, some chicken on it, and you're like, okay, it's a pretty solid start for the appetizers to a party. And then you figure out this is the main course, this is the lunch. I mean, what the hell do you want me to say? At this point, there's nothing for me to even say to the host. Like, God damn it, if you expect that these tiny tacos and some hummus dip is enough for lunch, what do you want me to say? I mean, you're making a meal basically for 5-year-olds, and you got a bunch of adults coming. What do you expect me to say? Same thing here. What do you expect us to say when it was such a bad week? God damn. Anyhow, here we go, boys. College football week 5. Start you guys off. We got Mississippi at Alabama. Alabama is a 37.5 point favorite here. Mississippi coming off a 28-20 loss to Cal. They're coming off 3 straight home games and now going on the road to Tuscaloosa. That's not going to be fun. And they're starting a redshirt freshman in quarterback Corral. He has not even seen a defense close to Alabama. This is going to be a rough week for him and for the whole team. They lost last year at home. This is on the road. At home, they lost last year to Alabama 62-7. And so it's not going to be pretty. Then we got Alabama 4-0, boys, coming off a 49-7 win last week against Southern Miss. They are averaging 50 points per game with a average win margin of 39 points. They are at home for the 2nd straight week, well rested, ready to spank Mississippi. Easy one here, boys. Take Alabama minus 37.5. Game 2, we got Connecticut at UCF. UCF is a 43-point favorite. 43-point favorite. Connecticut 1-2, coming off a 38-3 loss at Indiana. Back-to-back road games here for Connecticut. This is a really bad team. 1-11 last season, 1-2 already this season, and they lost at home by 39 points to UCF. Remember that. Just like I said in the Alabama game, They were at home and they lost by 39, and now they're going to be on the road. And so, like I said, UCF is a better offensive team than they were last year. And let's get into UCF. 3-1, coming off a heartbreaking 35-34 loss at Pittsburgh. A really rough loss. If you watch that game, they started off slow. They were down 21-0 at one point. Then they scored 31 straight to take the lead within about 15 minutes. And then they weren't able to keep it up, and they did lose at the end. Pittsburgh made a touchdown within the last minute, I believe, to win that game. They're averaging 47 points per game here, UCF. Quarterback freshman Gabriel is the real deal. That guy's really good, and they're gonna have a bounce back game here. They're gonna really just spank the crap out of UConn. They're putting up close to 70 here. This is an easy one. Take UCF minus 43. Game 3, we got UTEP 1-2 at Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a 26-point favorite here. UTEP 1-2, coming off a 16-point loss to Nevada. We all know how bad Nevada is. This is another road game, guys. A road game here. Really weak offense. Quarterback Brandon Jones is garbage. And well, kind of the theme for my first two picks. Last year they lost by 32 points. 32 points last year, and now they're going to play at Southern Miss. So this is a road game, and I feel like Southern Miss is going to completely dominate here. Then we got Southern Miss 2-2. They did lose last week 49-7 versus Alabama, but that's Alabama, not UTEP. And both of their losses this year, they're 2-2, are to SEC schools, so they're not afraid to play some big schools. And you know what? If you watch that game, I watched that Alabama game. They competed and they looked like they belong. Yeah, they lost by 42, but it didn't look like a complete demolishing like the score looks like. And I think they're gonna get confidence that they kind of were able to at least compete, and they have the talent to compete with Alabama. They, look, they are gonna rip UTEP a new one. This is an easy one. This is my lock of the week, boys. Don't think twice. Take Southern Miss minus 26. Big Reed, let's go.
The first game I got is UCLA at Arizona. We got UCLA coming off their first win versus Washington State. That was a crazy game if you watched it. Arizona coming off a win versus Texas Tech at home. Kudos to UCLA. That was a crazy game. They came back down big. It was unexpected. They were double-digit underdogs on the road. Their offense came out of nowhere. Like, I watched at halftime. I thought it was over. And then the second half, I just flipped it on. It was like a shootout out of nowhere.
Unreal.
It's like 67-63, something like that. But let's pump the brakes here on UCLA. Before this, they only put 14 points up each game. I'll tell you this, Arizona hasn't been impressive either. They lost to Hawaii and beat Northern Arizona and Texas, and they beat Texas Tech. And this is going to be a good game, but in the end, I think Arizona wins and they cover the 6-point spread. The next game I got is Virginia at Notre Dame. The current spread is Notre Dame minus 12.5. We got Virginia coming off a 28-17 win at home versus Old Dominion. And then we got Notre Dame coming off a loss, 23-17 loss versus Georgia. Virginia's played 4 games. They beat Pittsburgh, William Mary, Florida State, and Old Dominion. Out of those 4 wins, I'd give them Florida State most impressive win. I mean, Notre Dame hasn't been impressive either with their wins yet. I mean, they beat Louisville and New Mexico, but they put up a good fight against Georgia at Georgia, and no one expected that. They were double-digit underdogs there too, minus 14. So I'm going with Notre Dame minus 12.5. That's my lock of the week. And the last game I got is Kentucky at South Carolina. South Carolina is a 3-point favorite. We got Kentucky coming off a 28-13 loss versus Mississippi State. We got South Carolina coming off a 34-14 loss versus Missouri on the road. Neither of these teams have looked good this season. South Carolina 1-3, lost to UNC, Alabama, Missouri, and beat Charleston. Kentucky 2-2, beating Toledo, Eastern Michigan, losing to Florida and Mississippi State. It comes down to Kentucky only playing one road game, and that game, which was last week, they played solid at home, but this game's on the road. So I'm taking South Carolina -3. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys.